Are you thinking about adopting a dog? Are the prices holding you back from doing so? Well, did you know that adopting a dog from your local shelter can not only save you tons of money, but you can also save a life? If you go to a pet store, buying a dog will cost you thousands of dollars, but going to a shelter could only be about $100. That will include neutering, microchipping, and the dog's first shots. Imagine that, getting all of that for only $100. While on the other hand, if you go to a pet store, you have to pay more money on top of the thousands you were spending for just adopting. Getting a dog neutered, microchipped, and shots could be extremely high prices, but you would be getting it for free if you just made one tiny trip to the shelter to adopt a loving dog. Some of you are probably saying that you want a little cute puppy, so that is why you would not go to a shelter. But how do you know what kind of dogs are in there if you never stepped foot in one? In a shelter, there are tons of cute dogs of different ages and different breeds. How would you not be able to find one? You would save a dog's life, so why wouldn't you do it? Every dog ends up in a shelter for a different reason. I feel like most people think dogs end up in shelters because they are bad dogs. This is not the case at all. Some dogs end up in shelters because the owner does not know how to take care of them, so they get rid of their dog, or perhaps their owner has died, so they had to be put in a shelter. If a dog is in the shelter for too long, they put the dog down. They have to. They need to make room for the new dogs that are coming, and if that one dog has been there for a couple of weeks and is not getting adopted, they consider that a waste of space. Isn't that sad? Wouldn't you want to give that poor dog a second chance at life? All that these dogs need is just a loving home, just one single person to adopt them so they will not die. There was a story I read online about a dog named Chad. Chad and his friend Clarice were abandoned by their family and left at the house. They were not the only dogs there, though. There were even bigger dogs. The dogs had to defend for themselves, and it was a fight for survival, and Chad tried to protect Clarice. When Chad tried to defend her, he got bitten really bad by one of the bigger dogs and was quickly infected. The neighbor next door knew what was going on, so they called animal control. Animal control for most dogs are not good, but for Chad it was. Then eventually, an adoption team saved them from the shelter. Chad's infection was treated, but Clarice's heartworms were really bad, so sadly, she did not survive. A family decided to take Chad in and foster him, then eventually they adopted him. Chad's past made him fear strangers, but they worked on it. He is still shy, but he has gotten a lot better. Now Chad is as happy as he can be with a very loving family. It is crazy to think what dogs can go through and how they can be saved by just one single soul. Even after telling you this story, you might think to yourself, well, why don't I just go to a farm to get a dog? They need homes too. Yes, they do need homes, but they don't get put down if they are not adopted in a certain amount of time. My family and I once adopted a dog from a farm, and he died at a very young age of 7. He died from cancer, and my mom believes it was because of how he was raised on the farm. Ever since then, we have now adopted a dog from a farm. If you are still iffy on adopting a dog from a local animal shelter, then here is an overview and things that might change your mind. You can save one of the millions of dogs that get put down in the shelter every year. When you adopt a dog, you give them a second chance at a new healthy life and a happy home. Going into a shelter, you will discover that the dog you thought you wanted was not the one you needed. If you were looking for a puppy, you might discover that an older dog is more calm and better trained, so the shelter may be a much better place to find your fit. Also, once again, you will pay less for your new best friend. Adoption fees are typically far below what a pet store charges. If you go to a shelter, you'll find out more about your new dog than you can from a pet store. Responsible shelters provide you with plenty of care information, support, temperament evaluation, and more. You would also be able to talk to the people who have been spending time with the dog to find out about what the animal's like and what he needs. Another thing is that adopting a dog is not only good for the dog, but it can be good for you too. If you rescue a dog, you rescue yourself. Studies have shown that dogs keep us calm and that dogs can increase your task performance. You may think that dogs will just distract you, but the study shows that those with pets were more capable of performing tasks correctly than those without dogs. Dogs can increase our social life. Dogs force us to get out of the house. We take them for walks in the park, which makes us talk to people because everyone wants to pet your dog. You might even make friends because of your dog. Also, did you know that pet owners above the age of 65 are 3% less likely to pay a visit to the doctor? This shows that having a dog can reduce our anxiety and worry. In conclusion, if you rescue a dog, it will be the best decision that you make in your life. All they need is unconditional love, and they will love you back no matter what. So please go to your local shelter and adopt a dog and save a life.